You know, I didn't puke and I didn't shit. But when I was in Houston about a month ago, I sharted. Here's what happened. If you were going to make a list of the best places to shart, and I don't know why you would, but if you did, number one is the bathroom. And that's where I was. I was in a public restroom, and I was at the urinal. I was just enjoying a delightful afternoon pee, you know? Like a 90-second one, you know? Where your mind just kind of goes, stream of consciousness takes over, you're just lost, and you're like, are birds real or are they honing devices? I don't know. Jesus, how big were Aretha Franklin's tits, you know? You ever think about that? Everyone talks about Dolly Parton's tits. Do you ever look at Aretha Franklin's tits? It looked like she was nursing seal pups. It's insane. If she couldn't sing, she'd be serving lunch. You know what I mean? Those are some tits. So, I'm pissing, and it's great. My wife always gives me shit, by the way. She's like, you enjoy your bodily functions so much. And I'm like, why don't you just let me live my life? I mean, I do like peeing. I like sneezing more. If you don't enjoy an open-air, reckless, violent sneeze, you're a fucking communist, okay? It's the best. Yeah. You know what I mean? No one's around. You go, like one of those, you're like, what the fuck? Don't talk to me. I love it. Cumming's the best. If we're obviously, I'm not going to argue that point. So I go cumming, sneezing, nice pee, emergency shit. I really like stretching in bed right after I wake up, and then it sends you back to sleep because it feels like fentanyl or something. I don't know. I like it. I like sitting on the couch on a Sunday and just a nice pinch and roll on my beanbag. You know, it just. This is free? This is crazy. I wish it were Seven's hand, but this feels good, you know? I know a lot of ladies get jealous about that, and honestly, you shouldn't. I've seen what many of you have there, and there's plenty to pull, so you could also just tug on that taffy bag and see where it takes you. Yeah. And don't you dare get insecure, okay? You ladies do that to each other. We never care. It could have teeth and we try to get in there. We don't care. All I'm saying is that, ladies, I want you to leave here tonight knowing that you all have beautiful pussies, okay? Yeah, sure. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. So, I'm peeing, right? And as I'm peeing, I feel something, you know, in the chamber. And I'm polite, so I do the polite thing. I look around, and there's nobody in there. So I tell myself, it's okay, buddy. Why don't you give it a push? And I did, and there was no sound. None. But there was movement. So now I have to check. Do you know how you have to check in that situation? You have to take your pants all the way down. Like a fucking toddler. Like I was like... So now I'm just Winnie the Pooh in it, in a t-shirt. Like, hi. Hello. My little dick's hanging out. Hello. And then I look into my boxers and I'm like, yep, I'm throwing those out. And then I clean up, and then I leave the restroom, and all my friends are waiting outside, and I immediately tell them what happened. And they're like, I don't want to know this. And I go, well, I'm telling you. And they go, well, stop. And I go, I'm not. You already know now. And in that exchange, something clicked. I put it together. I didn't shart. I had simply shit my pants. Yeah. I mean... That's an important distinction, right? A shart would imply that I had farted and that there were some DVD extras in there. I took a shit with my pants on. It would be no different than if right now I were standing here like, I think I'm gonna take a shit right now. And then I just kept talking. So it's fucked with my confidence, but I'm back, baby. I am fucking back. Yes. Thank you. Also, let me tell you something. This is my 6-hour special, and I'm very, very grateful that I have this opportunity. Yeah. I tell people a lot, and it's true, that I really didn't think this was in the cards for me. You know, I didn't think about this ever when I started out in entertainment. I really thought the highlight of my career was many, many years ago when I booked the international campaign to be the spokesman for Subway. Now, that's a real thing. That really happened to me. It took 10 auditions. And when I got the call that I had booked this job, I had the same thought that many of you are probably having right now, which is, what about Jared, you know? Jared, the now former spokesman, was really prominent in advertising at this time. So when I got the call that I was the new spokesman, I asked them, I was like, wait, am I replacing Jared? And they were like, fuck no. See, if you don't know this man's story, he used to weigh 500 pounds. And he would go to his local Subway, and he would order a 6-inch turkey sub, and he'd go on long walks. And over the course of several years, he lost nearly 300 pounds. Well, Subway did a one-time commercial that was so successful, they named him the permanent spokesman. But the problem was... they could only use Jared to promote their healthy subs. And they needed someone that looked like they could shit standing up, right? That's where your boy came in. So I was like, wait a minute, Jared's gonna say, eat the turkey sub and eat the veggie sub. What am I gonna say? And they're like, you're gonna say, don't forget we have a meatball sub, too. I was like, okay, I can do that. But my next question was more relevant. I was like, wait, Jared plays himself. He's Jared. Am I playing Tom, the comedian, in these commercials? And they're like, no, no, no. Jared will remain Jared. You, Tom, are gonna play his derelict brother who's a mess and eats like a fucking raccoon. I was like, okay, I can do that. I go, so I'm a character. And they go, yes, you're a character. I go, great, what's my name? And they go, Jerome. I took a beat, and I go, that's a black guy's name. And I'll never forget, the chief marketing officer of Subway looked me dead in my face, and he goes, anybody can be named Jerome. I go, yeah, anybody can be named Tanner. That's a fucking white guy's name, isn't it? So he goes, we'll take your concerns back to the board. 2 weeks later, I am in New York City, and I'm doing a wardrobe fitting to start shooting the commercials. This guy walks into my dressing room, and he goes, hey, everybody agreed with your name issue. And I go, no shit. What's the new name? Jeff? Jason? He goes, Germaine. I go, that is way blacker. Am I wearing gold fronts in these commercials? He goes, it's settled, I don't want to talk about it. I go, okay. And then we shot commercials, you guys. We shot a bunch of commercials. And then we went on hiatus, and we were gonna shoot 6 more commercials to launch this massive campaign. Well, the marketing guy resigned, a new guy came in, and he killed the ads. So I got the call. They go, it's over. These are never gonna air. You don't get the contract. This is not happening. And I got so depressed. I was like, this was my big shot. You know, it slipped through my fingers. I'm never gonna have another opportunity like this again. I just couldn't see the light. And then, about 10 years went by. And one day, I turned on the television, and our old buddy Jared was on TV too, only it wasn't a Subway commercial. It was the evening news. And they were reporting that Jared was being sentenced to 19 years in prison for child pornography. And I dropped to my knees. I was like, thank you, Jesus. Thank you for taking that away when you did. I'm sorry I ever doubted you. I will never do it again. Because if that campaign had aired, it would have been 10 years of us doing commercials together, being on billboards together, doing public appearances together, and the day that awful news dropped about him, all of you would have seen me on the street and been like, hey, Germaine! I'd be like, what? I'm Tom. And you go, shut up, you black piece of shit. What? And you go, you fucking knew. You fucking knew. And I go, I don't know anything. I don't know what to say, man. Eat fresh. I'm sorry. So I'm glad this worked out. This is way more fun. So thank you for being here. And yeah. I do still have his phone number, if you're wondering. I did try sending him a link one time to adult porn, because I thought he wouldn't like it. But